What's up, friends? Welcome into a Thursday edition of Rock Chalk Sports with Elijah Schmidt, Trey Myers, and Dan Courtwright. I am Sean Kellerman. Thanks for joining us here on Kansas Nation. Appreciate everybody listening over on ESPN Kansas City, watching on kansasnation.com, as well as watching live on Facebook, YouTube. The likes, the comments, the subscriptions, they all help a lot. So appreciate all of you. Got another full show for you today. You know, we're starting talking USA soccer.
Yeah.
The only bummer, and I was thinking about this on the way in, we have to talk USA soccer today because the game between USA and Australia is tomorrow at 2, so that's before we go on air. But due to it being a very busy day in Kansas City, we need to get our recording tomorrow done early. So we won't be able to recap the USA-Australia game tomorrow on Rock Chalk Sports. We will talk about it Monday on Rock Chalk Sports, in which Dan Courtwright will be rolling as one unit. He'll be talking USA soccer. So
how selfish of you, by the way.
I know.
To leave me alone for an entire week.
Man. I
It's
can't.
unbelievable.
The nerve.
Can't believe you do that.
So we're going to preview it. We won't be able to talk about it tomorrow, of course, because by the time we're recording, you know, we won't have a result of that game. But Monday, we'll let you know. That's a big one for USA. I mean, they've already got 3 points. So does Australia in Group D of the World Cup. Going to break that down here in the opening segment. Next segment, talking a little Royals baseball. A slight word on the Royals, as they don't respectfully deserve much more than that. And then the new home run derby rules. I'm really curious to hear what Dan Courtwright feels about those rules that came out a little bit earlier today. Taste of the past, a taste of watching baseball and the All-Star break growing up. Dude, some of my favorite memories are sitting in the basement at my parents' house
And watching Babe Ruth and Ted Williams go at it.
Yes, the home run derby, like the All-Star break. We've talked about this before. Is there a better age / time of year than the summer growing up as like a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
I mean, it is the best.
You
go to the pool. You go to the pool, you play the pool for 5 hours.
Yeah, because you're not old enough to start working, but you're old enough to have a little bit of freedom and enjoy the summer.
Yes, you can like ride your bikes.
Perfect.
So I would ride my bikes, get some, pick up some movies, pick up some soda, some candy, whatever.
Like
and
6th, 7th grade.
Oh my
just
God,
the best summers.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And you'd be, chugging soda, like I said, but. Yeah, you'd be at the pool all day, go back, just do whatever. And then I remember watching Baseball Tonight on ESPN, dude. You remember watching that?
I
Carl
do.
Ravitch and Harold Reynolds and Peter Gammons.
Yeah.
Tim Kirkjian.
Carl Ravitch.
That was great. But anyway, the home run derby, I remember, was a special part of the summer because you had the All-Star break and all that. But, staying up late. And, also remember waking up really early to watch the Olympics or the World Cup when they were across the pond.
Yeah. I don't think there was an Olympics. Oh, no, there was back in 2012. I think it was a freshman in high school, I believe, going into, or no, I might have been going into my 8th grade year, somewhere around there.
So
but yeah, no, that was fun
Olympics?
too. Yeah, Summer Olympics.
So it would have been 2012, right? Because we're getting it again in 28.
So I was going into my freshman year of high school, and that was a blast watching that. That was over in London, I believe. But yeah, no, it's like those summers were just like peak. Like again, you didn't have to worry about like having a job. And I think I was umpiring that summer, but that wasn't like really a job. Like it was just like I would just go to the Ball Diamonds and that was still fun.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's like that was the perfect summer.
Like nostalgia.
Yeah.
And I still remember my parents had this couch, but it was a 4-seater.
Ooh.
A 4-seat couch, and it was like this ugly yellow, like floral. But I would sleep on that like every night over the summer. That's where I would sleep. I would just sleep in the basement because I would be playing video games or watching TV down there instead of going up to my room, and I didn't have anything to do the next day.
That makes sense.
So yeah, no, it was
high school was a little
great.
High school was a little bit better, honestly, because I was a lifeguard. And what I would do is I would sleep in until like 11 every day. I would wake up. I would go to Skip's grocery store, which is the grocery store in Carbondale. They had a deli section. I would get their General Tso's chicken, and I would get a ice cold Coca-Cola Classic. And I would scarf that down, and I just head over to the pool.
Yeah.
And it was just the best.
So good, man.
Just the best.
So good. Yeah. I mean, a lot of nostalgia of that. But speaking of the Olympics in 2028, it's going to be really fun. The fact that that's in LA, also Oklahoma City, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, the LA, Oklahoma City, the sister cities, if you will, the Twin Cities.
The Twin Cities. Yeah. I mean, you get to LA, bam, you feel like you're in Oklahoma City. But the fun part about that is that the events we can actually watch live. That's the one thing that sucked about the Olympics in the past, it's like 2 seconds of scrolling social media. Simone Biles won.
Yeah,
You know?
right. I know. You're just like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
let me watch it. And yeah, that's how it was with the Winter Olympics this year. Is like I would wake up at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. and try to watch some luge. Just
Yeah.
because it was over in Milan and it was, way too early. Curling always started really early too, and it was like I would watch it in the mornings, and then like I remember like because they would have the gold zone or whatever, but then they would have Olympic prime time where they would just replay it for everybody who wasn't able to watch it in the mornings. But also, social media has just ruined that to where you're like, oh, I already know what happens. You know what I mean?
Right, I know.
Just lame.
So that's a bummer. But anyway, we won't have to worry about that. Yeah, it's going to be on the West Coast, but hey, that's a lot better. And anyway, we'll talk about the Olympics tomorrow probably because we might not have a lot of stuff to talk about. But yeah, USA, Australia. We'll talk a little home run derby. And then one of our favorite segments is coming up after that. Am I crazy?
Am I crazy?
I'm not, but I think Dan Courtwright just might be. He's got some piping hot takes that he truly feels honest. I mean, you honestly believe these things.
I have been thinking about these takes for a long time.
Yes.
By the way, shout out to our new intern, Trey Myers.
Yes.
He is helping me collaborate on
He's
this Am I
assisting-
Crazy?
assisting Elisha Schmidt.
Yeah, am I crazy segment? So yeah, we got some hot
I will
takes.
tell you
a brewing.
if you are crazy. And then this is your type of show because after that,
Yeah.
Dan, we are going to do another of your favorite segments, a fantasy draft, but we're going to keep it simple in honor of the World Cup.
We are going to keep it simple. This has been something that's been talked about for a long time, and it's, if the U.S. was more ingrained in soccer, they would have their best athletes playing soccer. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a draft of NFL players to play soccer.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Back-to-back fun,
all
goofy segments.
all NFL players to play soccer. When we're going with 11, right? Because there's 11 on each side.
Oh, my God.
Much like a football game.
Okay, 11 on each side. All right.
Yeah, so you got your center forward, two center forwards, two side midfielders, two center midfielders. You have your defensive midfielder.
Oh, my God.
Center back, keeper.
Wow.
Repeat that back to me.
I did not think hard enough about this. I just thought of 11 guys. I am confident, though, about the 11 that I chose.
Okay. You already have your 11?
I've got my 11.
Okay.
Yep, as
All
long
right,
as they don't get blocked. 11 guys, man. That's going to be a long segment. Dan. After that, we are going to continue our Kansas football position group breakdown as we talk KU running backs. It's a full slate of running backs in the room. I mean, we've got true freshmen, we've got redshirt freshmen, we've got transfers over. We'll talk about that as well as we get rolling on Rock Chalk Sports. World Cup in action again, of course. Big thing in Kansas City this week was Argentina and Algeria doing battle over at Kansas City Stadium. Leo Messi with the 55th hat trick in World Cup history.
His first.
And the first that Arrowhead Stadium has seen. Yeah, his first.
His first.
Good thing he came back, man. Otherwise, that was going to be a total blot on his resume.
By the way,
he didn't do that.
I did see, this is classic sports stock market stuff, but I did want to maybe mention it here. Lionel Messi has a better record at Arrowhead Stadium than Derek Carr. Derek Carr. So Lionel Messi at Arrowhead Stadium because he played with Miami FC against Sporting KC, but it was such a big event that they moved it to Arrowhead. He won that game, and then Argentina obviously beat Algeria over this past week. So now Messi is 2-0 at Arrowhead Stadium. Derek Carr is 1-9 every time he's played at Arrowhead Stadium. Played 10 times.
He beat us once?
He beat us once. I think...
Was he with the Saints?
No, it
would
was...
Been, obviously would have been Raiders.
It would have been the Raiders, and I want to say it was 2017. That sounds about right. It was around Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I remember
say.
you brought that up all the time. Well, you bring it up all the time. You say it ruined your Christmas.
No, but it wasn't that Christmas game, I don't think.
Okay.
Or maybe it was. No, this was a while ago. Because that Christmas game, that was in like 2023 or 2024, whenever the Chiefs were bad but still won the Super Bowl. That was their last Super Bowl win that they won.
2023.
Was it 2023?
Yeah, so you were
Derek
not
Carr.
particularly close.
So
but this was not Derek Carr. This was Aiden O'Connell.
That's the thing. So that's why I'm saying.
Oh, my God. This is the game that he didn't complete a pass after the first quarter.
That's right.
Oh.
But Derek Carr, I think it was around either Christmas or it was around Thanksgiving. I know it was a...
That did ruin my Christmas.
No. Was it Black Friday? It might have been the Thursday night football. I think the Chiefs might have been playing on... No, that can't be right.
Anyway,
I don't know. I can't remember what it was.
I'm done listening to you speculate.
All right, that's fine. I don't remember. I think it was. I remember I was in college, but it was early college. I want to say it was 2017 when Derek Carr beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium for the one time that he did.
Maybe it was,
But shout out to Leo
maybe it was
Messi.
2018. All right, we got to stop talking about this.
I know.
Yeah. So Raiders. I don't know how we got on that, but Arrowhead Stadium. They got to see something that was really special on Tuesday night. I'd like to get to a game. It's just it's not necessarily in the cards for me.
So Jason Anderson for Sports Radio 810 WHB, who does the Zone, the midday show. He had an interesting prompt. He said because he said he thought about going to the game but didn't because of the money, and then he felt so bad because he wasn't able to go to the game and see Leo Messi for probably the last time in Arrowhead Stadium, score a hat trick. So he had this prompt of what is one sporting event that you thought about going to but wound up not going to and you really wish you had? I mean, I have one in mind.
So I don't know that I have one, but I do remember my dad and I had tickets to Game 4 of the ALDS Royals Angels, and the Royals swept them.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to Game 4.
Oh,
So that was a bummer. And I'm a huge Royals fan. I've never been to a Royals playoff game, and we
Right.
had 3 seasons of home playoff games.
That would have been fun. My dad went to the 1-1 KU Oklahoma game in 2016.
I was
and
at that, of course.
Yeah, my
And
dad
you turned it down.
No,
Was
I
it
didn't
some
turn
girl?
it. No, I didn't turn it down. My dad took his buddy Fred.
Shout out to Fred.
Instead of me. Shout out to Fred Sherman. But yeah, he went, and I remember watching it at my parents' house. So that was fun.
Yeah, not as
yeah.
fun as being there. My
No.
bride and I were there. That was the last game I was at before I started working for the Jayhawk Radio
Is that
Network.
true? Oh,
it was
that's
the last game I was at as a fan.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it
that's
was-
that's
I
a
was
good
so
one
stressed.
to. That's a good one to end on.
January 4th, 2016.
I will also say Super Bowls, just if money was no option and you were able to go to any event to be there live in person, also non-local, probably the Iron Bowl in 2013, Chris Davis. Auburn's gonna win the football game.
Yep.
That'd be up there.
Kick 6.
Kick 6,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's fun.
Anyway,
That's fun.
Australia.
USA, Australia. Yeah. Group D of the World Cup tomorrow at 2. USA, a 4-1 dominant victory over Paraguay. Did you catch most of that game?
I watched the entirety of it.
On Friday. That was fun. I'm excited to watch tomorrow's match as well.
I know.
2 p.m. It's going to be electric. Can't wait for that. But Turkey and Paraguay are also in Group D, along with USA, Australia. I mentioned Americans, the Aussies. They both have 3 points. You win the first game in pool play, you're in a really good spot. That's where the USA is right now. And, of course, a lot of other powers are in a good spot. You look at Argentina, you look at France, not Spain, but Germany as well. They all have 3 points. But you're in a good spot because you honestly can probably afford a draw here in your second, particularly because you get Turkey to close out the group play for the USA on Thursday, a week from today at 9 p.m., USA and Turkey. You feel good about that one. You don't know for sure.
Well,
but
yeah.
at the same time, if you're able to get a win tomorrow against Australia, then you're coasting, man, and essentially focused on the knockout round.
Right, absolutely. And, a word on Turkey, because Turkey's a really, really solid team, right? I mean, you look at the Australia-Turkey game, you go, well, Australia beat them 2-0. That's pretty fine. But you look at the stats and you look at the discrepancy in terms of possession time, in terms of passes, in terms of total shots, right? Turkey beat them in everything. In terms of total shots, Australia had 8. Turkey had 28. Shots on target, shots on goal, Australia had 4. Turkey had 7. Possession time, possession percentage. Turkey had the ball 63% of the time. Australia only had the ball 37% of the time. Passes, Turkey had 679 passes. Australia had 273. Pass accuracy, 91% for Australia, 75% for Australia, 91% for Turkey. And Australia is a really fast team, and they are able to take over and kind of take advantage of some of the mistakes and miscues that other teams have. But Turkey is a really solid team. If I'm looking at this, Turkey's probably the best team in the entire group. But they lost one to Australia, which I think is massive. I think the U.S. has a better chance of beating Australia than they probably do Turkey.
CBSSports.com backs that up because they have a rankings. Again, these rankings were based after the first week or so of the World Cup. Just posted a little bit earlier today, Francesco Porzio on CBSSports.com. Some noteworthy teams. I won't go through all 48 teams, but I'll highlight some of the teams that USA will face. At the top is France. Spain falls down. They were the favorite. Now they're 3. Argentina is 2. England is 4. Portugal is 5. No major shockers there. Germany is at 10. They stand pat there. The USA is at 12. So the USA actually stands pat there. And the writer of this article said ranking the U.S. 12th drew some criticism, but their 4-1 win over Paraguay only reinforced my view. The performance was exactly what he expected, which is why they remain in the same spot. Other noteworthy teams, Dan, Turkey is 18 and Australia is 34. So you're right in terms of the stats didn't lie. The fact is, though, Australia was much more efficient in getting 2 goals. Other noteworthy teams, Ivory Coast is up to 22. They jumped 7 spots in the rankings. Canada is down to 29. They fell 5 spots. Australia did move up, but again, they were at 38 out of 48, so they're now 34. And Cabo Verde, shout out to them. They went from 46 to 38 after pitching a shutout against Spain and
awesome.
Shockingly hitting on the plus 1,300 or whatever the draw
who's
was. Algeria is 43. Algeria is down 6. That's a bummer, but again, they have an opportunity. They get Jordan next. Jordan is beneath them at 44. Last is Curacao. Just happy to be here. Uzbekistan, by the way.
Curacao scored a goal.
Uzbekistan, by the way. Yeah, it was 7-1.
I know, but they still scored. It's good for them.
Last night, Uzbekistan briefly tied Colombia in the late night affair. Did you see that? And then
I fell asleep.
Colombia scored, and then Colombia would actually add another one in extra time to win 3-1. But yeah, USA at 12 of 48. You feel good about that. So if you look at it this way, and based on what you said regarding the efficiency of Australia, they were very efficient, but statistically not as good as Turkey. I mean, USA gets a win tomorrow. Like I said, you are coasting, and then you're just trying to improve on where you could potentially be in the round of 32.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And I think that with Australia beating Turkey, that is the perfect storm for the U.S. to get out of group play, right? Because, like you said, Turkey, they're sitting at 18 right now. Australia, they're around the 30s. USA jumped all the way up to 12. Is that high for them? I don't necessarily know because of the fact that you had such a dominant performance against Paraguay. Paraguay's not great. I understand that. But still, beating them 4-1 is a massive, massive thing for this U.S. team. And U.S., I mean, they have really solid players, too. I mean, their goalkeeper has been awesome all year. Florian Balogun, he had 2 goals in the game against Paraguay. You also had the own goal as well. Mauricio, he wound up having a goal for Paraguay. But, still, you have really solid players on this U.S. team, all kind of headlined by Christian Pulisic as well. Pulisic, I think that we haven't seen what he's been capable of, right? He only got 37 touches in the game against Paraguay when you had Tyler Adams with 80 touches, right? Malik Tillman had 65. Weston McKennie, he had 64, right? Christian Pulisic, the more touches he's going to get, the more he's going to be able to take over games because he is that good. He's playing at a very high level right now, obviously over in the EPL or wherever he's at. So you like the U.S.'s chances, especially because they got those 3 points. That's absolutely massive. Australia also has those 3 points, and the U.S. is I keep wanting to say Kansas. The U.S. is a much better team than Australia.
Kansas.
So the fact that you have Turkey right now sitting at -2 and the U.S. sitting at 3 up alongside Australia, if the U.S. is able to beat Australia, get 3 more points, I mean, U.S. is sitting really in solid territory right now to make it into bracket play. I can't tell you the last time the U.S. made it into bracket play, but I know for a long time, the U.S. has been terrible at soccer in men's soccer. The women's soccer team is always fantastic, but the men's soccer team, this is the first time in a long time where they're really going to be able to make some noise.
2014 and 2010, USA was in bracket play, which is fun. Let's see what the prognosticators think. USA tomorrow against Australia at 2 o'clock, -170. Draw is +340. And Australia is +425. So, again, the prognosticators like USA. And talking about some of the players that you mentioned for Team USA, we have to see what the goals are. Right now it's pulling up the Sweden game when I'm trying to look at trying to look at the player props, but if you look at the futures for the teams that are favored in the World Cup, France is still the favorite at plus 400. Spain's still comfortably in second at plus 550.
Yeah.
Again, they're still going to, in all likelihood, get out of pool play, but they got to find the back of the net, and they weren't able to do that.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the U.S., though, is against Australia. Australia is not a good defensive team in terms of their, sort of those back guys, but their goalkeeper is one of the best in the World Cup right now. He had 8 saves, all 8 of those shots on goal by Turkey. Saved all 8 of them, right? So he's been really, really solid all year, or all World Cup, which has only been one game, but he's still a really solid goalkeeper that they have over there in Australia. So if the U.S. is able to get more shots on goal, more shots, even just tilt the field, be on Australia's side, they're going to get those opportunities to get it past them. But the goalkeeper is just so good for Australia. So don't expect this to be, another 4-1 victory, right? I mean, with the way that you're looking at this, it's probably going to be a 1-0 or 1-1 or some kind of draw or whatever it is. And like I said this yesterday, the U.S. has wiggle room to create a draw against Australia because they're in such a commanding lead alongside Australia as well, to where Turkey, again, probably the best team as of right now in the group. If the U.S. able to draw or beat Australia, they're sitting in the driver's seat.
Pulisic is plus 500 to score a goal. He's also plus 100 goal plus assists. So if Pulisic is indeed going to be Captain America, hopefully it starts tomorrow against Australia. That's at 2 o'clock. Again, we won't be able to recap it tomorrow because we're going to have to pre-record, but certainly on Monday's show, we will recap it. We'll try to get you some sights and sounds from around Lawrence as well, as USA has Australia tomorrow, and then Thursday, a week from today, 9 o'clock against Turkey to close out group play. Algeria, for those of us who are supporting.
Viva l'Algérie.
Yeah, Rock Chalk, Algeria. We'll go with that. They get Jordan Monday at 10 p.m., and then they get Austria a week from Saturday at 9 p.m. Would love to see them go on some sort of Cinderella run. It's been a lot of fun welcoming them here to the River City. All right, more coming up on Rock Chalk Sports. We're going to talk a little home run derby, a little Royals baseball, and then a couple special segments after that. More coming up. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports. Dan, Crown Automotive, your neck of the woods. Miles Schneier, the Lawrence Citizen of the Year. Great service and sales staff and a great selection of vehicles.
Yeah, if you're in the market for a new or used car, be sure to check out Crown Automotive over in my neck of the woods, South Iowa Street. They have a whole line of new Toyotas and Volkswagens, Tiguans, Taosas, Jettas, Corollas, Camrys, RAV4s, Tundras, Tacomas, you name it, they've got it. And if those aren't your jam, they have a whole line of used cars as well. They're not going to try to put you in some sporty little thing. If you got 4 kids running around with soccer practice, they're going to get you in the car that fits your lifestyle. So check them out, crownautomotive.com or crownmotorsvw.com, the friendliest sales staff in town. And it's all brought to you by the Lawrence Citizen of the Year, Miles Schneier. Great wine, great cars. Check them out, crownautomotive.com.
Yeah, next time you're over in the Oregon area, check out Schneier Family Winery.
Is that what it's called?
No, I don't think so. Zenith Winery. Zenith Winery.
Yeah, we have their wines over here.
Delicious.
Great.
Miles Schneier.
I'm not a wine guy.
I'm a wine guy.
You are a wine guy? I'm not a wine guy, but that wine's good.
I like beer. I do beer generally, but
is your wife a wine lady?
She is.
That's what Piper's not a wine lady.
Yeah.
You know what she is? She's a Vegas bomb girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely she is. No, I can see that, yeah. Now, Caitlin has always liked wine, but now she just falls asleep in the middle of a glass.
I can't remember if I told you this. During my wedding, we went to Town Royal after the reception.
And
my father, you were playing pool with him. Yes. I believe when this happened, my dad came up to me and he goes, Piper gave me a Vegas bomb. What is that?
Yeah, that is awesome.
Like, you don't want to know.
What is it, by the way? It's Red Bull and...
So, yeah, it's cranberry juice, Red Bull, peach schnapps, and vodka, I believe. And it's...
See, I could do that. That's not
but it's usually... I mean, it's not a shot. It's like half a cup.
Yeah, right.
At least the way that we pour them.
Right.
But, yeah, my dad was like, what is it? I was like, you don't want to know.
Yeah. Did he drink it?
Yeah, he did. I told him there's Red Bull in it. He goes, great, now I'm going to be up all night.
Oh, my God.
Well, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
2 ounces of Red Bull. You'll be all right, Chris.
I don't know if he's ever drank a Red Bull in his life until then.
Royals are only 6.5 back of the wild card. Let's start with that. I mean, honestly, if the record was 37-38 or 38-37, you'd be like, all right, we're only 6.5 back of the wild card. The record's not that. It's 30-45. It's tied for the worst record in the American League. But the statement is true. They're 6.5 back of the wild card. I'm the eternal optimist. I'm going to look at it that way. No, it's a disaster right now, though. You got injuries. Reagans has been out. Bubic has been out. Estevez has been out. Seth Lugo gets hit in the forehead with a 107-mile-an-hour batted ball. There was that issue. He goes to the 7-day IL. You're forced to start guys like Mitch Spence, who's no good as a starting pitcher. There are some good things. Bobby Witt Jr. is a good thing. You got a couple young arms who I think are going to be good in the future coming up, particularly Luinder Avila. It's looking like the Freddie Fermin deal is going to be fantastic as the Royals got Stephen Kolek, who's been awesome.
Yeah.
So there are some positives. But, yeah, a lot of injuries. We had Lesky on the show on Tuesday, and he was – I don't want to use the word pessimistic, but he was being realistic about the rest of the season. Again, there are some good things. Caglione is becoming one of the better hitters on this Royals team. Noah Cameron has found his form from last year. But, yeah, injuries. Pasquantino's on the IL. And next up for the Royals starts tonight against the Cardinals. It's a weird 3-game series where the Royals don't play on Saturday. I don't understand. That has never happened. But you play tonight at 6:40, tomorrow night at 7:15, and then Sunday at 1:10. I would love to figure out why that is. I mean, it's strange. But we're kind of past the time that the Royals had an opportunity on paper to get some wins. I mean, all they've done is lose series. They lost a series to the Rangers, they lost a series to the Astros, and they lost a series to the Nationals. They did win yesterday 6-2, so there's that. Got some home runs. Carter Jensen had 4 hits. That was nice. Jack Caglione last week had a game where he had 4 hits. 22 years old, 23 years old, respectively. You like that. But now, after the Cardinals, you get Tampa for 4, who's very good. The White Sox, who apparently are good. Those are 2 of the 4 teams that are above 500 in the American League. And then you get the Rays again after that. Then you have the Phillies, who are really good, at the Mets, at the Orioles before the All-Star break. So it's not trending good. But again, the American League is so bad, you feel like they can string us along a little bit more because who knows what can happen.
Yeah, I know. And, it's just so unfortunate because you look at this Royals roster and you go, man, there's so much good young talent, but it's just not coming together, right? Like you said,
injuries.
And injuries. Injuries is also a massive part of it. But Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione have been sort of the bright spot in this black hole that we like to call the Kansas City Royals. They're 30-45 right now. There's 22 games, if I'm not mistaken, or 21 games until the All-Star break.
Okay.
Am I right about this? Yes,
I have not added them up, but
it's either 22 or 21 games before the All-Star break. I did a quick scan of it, but I'm not great at counting. I usually never go over 15, so that's where it kind of gets a little shaky for me. But it's unfortunate because the American League is so bad this year that you still, like you said, you have people looking at it in an optimistic view of like, hey, well, they're only so many games back in the wild card, right? It's still a possibility. So that keeps on extending this. Are they buyers? Are they sellers? What do they do? What changes do they make? What management changes do they make? Who do they pull up? Whatever it is, right? How do you develop those guys? Do you pull up guys up early from AAA just to get them some experience? Like that, those kinds of questions are being pushed back a little bit because the AL is so bad, right? As of right now, I'm full on like it's over. Sell everybody off, Get a bunch of good guys in your farm system, and then, hey, maybe you'll be good in 2028.
I want to see one more wave of can we get a couple of these guys back from the injured list, and then I'll give up later. But
sure. I've already given up.
If we can get Reagans and Bubic back, then how do you argue with a rotation that includes both those guys as well as Lugo and Noah Cameron and Stephen Kolek? You have an opportunity. Plus Michael Wacha, who's been a mainstay. That's 6 legitimate starting pitchers that give you a chance every night. It's just been a scenario where the Royals have been dealing with injuries. You've been dealing with an aging Perez. You've been dealing with Pasquantino, who's now hurt and took him forever to get going. And, guys who they brought in as offseason free agents, and Lane Thomas and Isaac Collins have been meh at best. There's issues. There's better teams in the American League than the Royals, but only 6.5 back. Again, I don't want to give up yet. I want one wave of guys on the injured list coming back, getting healthy to maybe give the Royals a jolt. Again, 30-45, you should be done. You should be 14, 15 games back of even a wild card when your record is that bad. They're not. They're 6.5 back. And other teams have problems too. The first half's been ugly for the Royals, but that's not to say that it's not completely over.
I know. That's why I hate the fact that it's pushing this back so far. It's like, I've already given up, but everybody else hasn't. And it's just, I don't know. I think you get to the point where it's just like you need to kind of stop this. You do have the series coming up against the Cardinals, which we'll see how that goes. I mean, it's kind of a rivalry thing or whatever you want to say, but the Cardinals are still a really solid team. It's going to be at Kauffman. Then you go to the Tampa Bay Rays. They're over 500. They're 41 and something right now. I think they've won 41 games. Then you have the White Sox coming up. Then you have the Rays again, right? So it's going to be tricky. I think if they drop these two series against the Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Rays, I mean, are you looking at that as a, hey, it's over?
I think.
I mean,
again,
are you giving them more wiggle room?
I want to see how the injuries play out because, again, it sucks for guys like Reagans, who's been injured, it seems like his whole career. And when he's healthy, he's got ace stuff. And Bubic, same deal. When he's on, he's got number one type stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they have not been able to do that. And now Michael Garcia, who had to be removed from a game, he is likely out for a couple days because of a hand thing. So that's no good either. And he also hasn't been as good as hoped. I mean, you when you looked at this season, when the prognosticators looked at this season before and said the Royals are going to compete for the American League Central, you planned on not only, the Royals being more healthy than they have been, but you planned on Garcia and Pasquantino being a lot better than they are, and certainly Perez. I mean, you were hoping Perez didn't have a drop-off, but it semes like he's having that as it's been now an extended play. But got to have your guys be dudes, and they just haven't been.
I have a question about Stephen Kolek for you, because you were talking about like, oh, well, we have Stephen Kolek, and he's been great. He's been serviceable, and this is a guy that you can, kind of look at for the future or whatever. But he's 29 years old, which that doesn't mean anything. But 2.68 ERA, really good. 34 strikeouts, really good. He's 4-1 right now. But I mean, are you looking at him as a legitimate, like, this could be a potential guy that the Royals hang on to for maybe the foreseeable future, as this is going to be one of our solid rotation guys for the next 4 to 5 years?
If you asked me that, or if you asked the Royals that 6 weeks ago, I think they would say no.
Right.
Say he's a serviceable arm, but let's go back.
But right now, it's like he's pitching so well. I don't know if it's just because he's there or what.
Cinco de Mayo, 6 innings, he gave up 3 runs. That's a quality start. Okay, it is what it is. Then he had a bad start at the White Sox, gave up 5 runs in 4 2/3. Got more opportunities, of course, as the injuries piled up. And as Lesky talked about, this is the time of year to maybe not worry as much about wins and losses if you are accepting the fact that the Royals aren't going anywhere, and start thinking about, okay, who do we have? What can these guys bring us? 29 is older for a position player than it is for a pitcher. Since those first 2 outings for Kolek, 6 1/3 scoreless against the Cardinals, Royals won 2-0. Complete game shutout against the Mariners. Royals won 5-0. He gave up 4 and 5 innings against the Rangers. And then how about his next outing in June? He gave up 2 and 7 innings against the Reds, 1 and 5 innings against the Rangers, and then none in 7 1/3 against the Astros. The Royals won 4-0. The Royals aren't exactly tossing a shutout every night, and they've done so 3 times when Stephen Kolek has been the starting pitcher in his 8 starts. So, yeah, he's been great. And, again, this is a good spot to be. And maybe if the Royals do end up being sellers, then one of these guys will get moved. I think that's a realistic possibility. But going back to what I said about the starters, Reagans, Bubic, Lugo, Waka, Kolek, and Cameron, that's 6 legitimate MLB-type starters who are no worse, any of them, than a 3-4, and some of them have 1 potential in your starting rotation. So I think there's a lot to like. I did want to ask you your opinion on the Home Run Derby format that it just was announced. Going back, it's reverting to a swing-based system. Remember, they had this in the past. I talked in the open about, watching the All-Star game and the Derby growing up in my parents' basement. And it was, if you swung and didn't hit a homer, that was an out. Yep. There was no time, anything like that. And then, pace of play, everybody's complaining about it. They put on a clock, and they still had some adjustments. And I think it's entertaining no matter what they do. But now they're going back to having no clock for the Home Run Derby, because people complained about having a clock and whatever. It's stupid. Less pressure on the pitcher, which I guess is good. You don't have as much pressure as the pitcher to throw a strike and throw it, quickly. But here's how it's going to look. It's going to be a swing-based format. This is according to The Athletic. MLB hasn't officially announced it, but Monday, July 13th is the Derby. 8 players will take 20 swings each. If they homer on their 20th swing, they can continue swinging until they make an out. I like that. Ties are broken by longest home run distance.
Love it.
The top 4 home run totals advance. I'm going to sneeze. Nailed it.
Tight.
The 4 players are seeded 1 through 4. So after the 8 guys swing in the opening round, get down to top 4, the 4 players are seeded 1 to 4 based on their homer totals. So if a player hits a homer on its 20th swing in the opening round, then he earns what amounts to a 21st swing, 22nd swing, go on until he makes it out.
Until you don't hit a home run.
Yep. Second round, they're going to do seeding. Everybody loves a good bracket, even a tiny one like this. But it's going to be number 1 versus number 4 and number 2 versus number 3. 4 players will take 15 swings each. Same deal. If you home run your 15th swing, you can continue swinging until you make it out. Ties are broken with 3 extra swings each. The 2 winners of the head-to-head advance to the finals. And then in the finals, same deal. 2 players take 15 swings. If you home run your 15th swing, you can continue swinging until you make it out. Ties are broken with 3 extra swings each. So pretty simple in all. I mean, last year we had like the swing off where like Kyle Schwarber had left the building and like Aaron Judge or somebody had left the building. So then we had Jonathan Aranda swinging in the swing off. It's like, this isn't really what we're going for. And Kyle Stowers was in the swing off, I think. Nice players, but not the big names that you're used to, because the other guys had respectfully gone home. Gone back to their hotel. Later. Yeah. So anyway, your thoughts on this? Again, it might take a little bit longer. They're continuing to adjust it. I do think no matter what they do, it's a fun thing. And I got to go to the Derby back in 2012 in Kansas City. That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
that's
an All-Star
really cool.
game. Yeah, it's fun.
I do like these rule changes. I thought that the clock, again, just put a weird amount of pressure on the bullpen pitcher, if you will. And now there's more of an opportunity. I think this is going to take the pressure off. Now they just have to place the ball, essentially. And I think this is opportunity for more home runs, which is going to be a lot of fun. That's why you watch the home run derby.
Chicks dig the long ball, man.
Chicks dig the long ball. And I like the way that they're capping it, but until you make an out, right? So there's 20 swings in the first round, but on the 20th swing, if you hit a home run, then you keep on going until you miss, which I absolutely love that.
Sounds
because
exhausting.
Guys can get on a roll. Yeah, sure, it sounds exhausting, but again, there's no pitch clock, so it will take a little bit longer time, but I think that, guys are going to be taking, maybe they'll be taking more pitches, right? That's always the thing that takes forever, right? If you see a guy take 8 pitches in a row, then you're like, all right, come on, man, like let's get this thing going. I like the fact that ties are broken by the longest home run distance. That is a fun little wrinkle. I don't think they've ever. Did they used to do that back when it was a swing based?
When it was swing
back
based,
in the day?
Did they do that last year?
Maybe they
did
that last year.
Yeah, they did it last year, even when it wasn't swing based, because and you would get extra. That's what you would do. You would get extra swings if you hit a ball 450 or something. I believe,
sure. Yeah.
With a max of like 3 extra
I don't
swings.
like that. I like they're simplifying it. They're like, all right, you get 20 swings, and on the 20th, you go until you don't hit a home run anymore. And the way that we're going to break the ties, longest home run. If you both have 16 home runs, guess what? Whoever hit the longest one, you win, right? And then in the second round, I love the fact that they're changing the tiebreaker to 3 extra swings instead of the longest home run in the second round where you go bracket play. If you're both tied up at 15 or 16 or whatever, then, hey, all of a sudden, all right, well, now you get 3 swings and you get 3 swings, and you'll just kind of go from there, I would assume, right? I would assume, like, okay, well, if you get 3 swings and the other guy gets 3 swings, you both hit 2 home runs, then they're going to go 3 extra swings, which that makes it fun, makes it almost like, sudden death, if you will, right? You have one guy who strikes out or gets 3 balls who don't go out. You get 1 home run. I mean, that feels like a walk-off home run, essentially, which I think is such a blast. So I do like these new added wrinkles. I think it's going to make the home run derby better. Is it going to make it longer? Absolutely it will. But you're there to watch home runs, and again, it takes the pressure off of the pitcher. It takes the pressure off of the batter. They have more time to set up, because as much as I like it shortened, I like home runs more.
Yeah, I agree. And I like brackets. Everybody likes brackets.
I like brackets too.
So it's fun. No, I
4
like,
versus
I like
1,
how they're
2
doing it.
versus 3,
Top 4
fun.
advance. It's fun. It's one of those that's like, I don't know that and I'm a big baseball fan, like I don't know that I circle the home run derby on my calendar every year, but more often than not, I'm going to tune in. Bobby was
Sure.
in it. That was so much fun.
It's always, yeah. Oh, no, that was great. And when Salvi was in it back in, 2021,
While
I
back.
believe? Yeah, it was about 5 years ago. Gesundheit.
Mike Moustakis was in it as well. Remember, that was such a big deal because the Royals never got a home run derby, and now we've
Right.
had 3 that we recognize here in the
That's
last
true.
10 years or so. Yeah, exciting stuff. Hey, we got some fun segments coming up for you on Rock Chalk Sports as we kind of trudge our way through the offseason.
Am I crazy?
Is coming up next. And after that, we're going to have a fantasy draft of NFL players to a soccer team. You know why? Because the World Cup is here. And
Yeah,
it's in
that's
town.
right.
I'll be darned. How about that? More
be
coming up
darned.
on Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports. Hey, with Jayhawk Checking from Central Bank, Jayhawk fans can carry their pride wherever they go with the official Jayhawk debit card, a simple way to show school spirit every day. Central Bank is proud to support the traditions and communities that bring people together. As the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, Central Bank is committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life, on campus, at work, and everywhere in between. Learn more about Jayhawk Checking and the exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. jayhawkchecking.com, Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, member FDIC. Dan,
Yeah.
we've got a special segment coming up.
We do.
Are
Am I crazy?
you crazy?
Am I crazy?
I understand you've put together some warm takes
So
for us to discuss.
I did not put together these takes.
Ah.
The way that, how do you want to do this?
I can't believe you just said that. That ruins the whole. Now people don't think that you actually believe
No,
that.
no. Here's the way I think we should do this, because we have a new intern here. His name is Trey Myers.
Okay.
He has put together a list of like 15 takes.
So he wants to know if he's crazy.
So this is going to be a new segment called "Is Trey Crazy?" Is
Okay.
Trey crazy? I want to read these off, and I want to have this conversation with you. He was sitting right over there with Elijah. This is his first day, by the way, so we're going to really be kind of throwing him under the bus a little bit. So let's start here, because I like this one a lot, and I agree with it. Trey Myers says, "Am I crazy for thinking that Kentucky basketball has not been good in the 21st century? They had an incredible 5-year run, 2012 to 2015, but no Final Fours outside of those. Will they?" He also says they will become Indiana.
Mid.
Mid. But people will always say, "Whoa, it's Kentucky," but Kentucky hasn't done anything in the back. Mark Pope is not a good coach.
I agree.
I think we've
I think-
well established that.
I think they're gonna be mid. I totally agree, and it starts at the top with Mark Pope. I don't know how many years they're gonna give him. Maybe a couple more.
Yeah.
But remember, Kentucky was mid for a while back, before Calipari got there. And then be careful what you ask for. They wanted him out. Everybody says no, thank you. They choose Mark Pope as their 17th choice. Mark Pope assumes that he's their first choice when everybody else, literally every other human being,
Right.
knows that he was their 17th choice.
That's when I think it started.
And he is mid. The other thing is there's too much money for the other programs in the SEC that have
Yeah.
made good use of that money. Florida comes to the forefront. Of course, they won a national title, but Alabama's got a ton of money. Both those
Arkansas.
programs have great coaches. Arkansas as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I definitely
Auburn.
could see that Kentucky kind of being on the same wavelength as Indiana, who's been okay, but certainly not great, certainly not blue blood. Kentucky
When
will
is
remain
the-
a blue blood because of all the success they've had, but yeah, they've been poopy.
When's the last time Indiana won a basketball national championship?
I want to say it's
1987.
89.
87. Looks like it's the last
Was
time.
Michigan 89?
Yes.
Yes.
No, because that would have been the freshman year of the Fab Five, right? Oh no, yeah, you're right. I think 89 would have been the last time. Yeah, no, you're right.
We can look it up.
I think that's right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Michigan.
Yeah, I think you're right, because that was before the Fab Five got there.
Yes, it was Michigan.
Yeah.
Steve Fisher, 80-79 over Seton Hall in overtime.
Okay, fair enough. It's going to take a while for them to become Indiana, right? Because Indiana, again, they haven't done anything since 1987. They've always kind of been middling ever since Bobby Knight left. They haven't had great coaches. Like Tom Crean was fine, I guess. He's probably been their best coach, right? Indiana, I think, is going to get better. But I think Trey's right about this. I think Kentucky gets more credit than they deserve, right? And they're resting on the laurels of, we have 9 national championships. I get that. I understand that. But the last one they had was 2012. That's the only one Calipari won. And then once the NIL,
And the transfer portal.
once that era started to come to fruition, then the recruiting aspect of what Calipari did kind of fell by the wayside, right? Where that was what he rested his laurels on. It's like, hey, come to Kentucky for a year, and then we'll get you to the NBA. What did he do with that talent? He only won one national championship with that talent in 2012.
He did, but it's hard to win a national championship.
It is hard to win. I understand that.
They should never have pushed him out.
No, I agree.
I get it. It's frustrating. They lost to St. Peter's. They lost to Oakland. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that one. Trey also says, am I crazy for thinking that Caleb Wilson has more upside than A.J. Debonsa in the NBA?
I don't think that's crazy.
So let's view this from a statistical standpoint. So Caleb Wilson, 19.8 points per game, 9.4 rebounds per game. That was 21st in the nation. Not a great assister. Good field goal percentage, 57.8% from the field. But again, a lot of those are coming from the inside. I don't think that's...
And you got Debonsa.
And you
have numbers, I assume.
So let me pull this up. I know Debonsa, AJ
Did he finish leading the nation in scoring?
He did. So he did finish leading the nation in scoring with 25.5 points per game, but only 6.8 rebounds per game. Not a great rebounder. You see him outside a little bit more than you see Caleb Wilson outside. More assists per game with 3.7 assists per game, 51% from the field. Caleb Wilson, I think, is a better defender than A.J. Debonsa. A.J. Debonsa has a much higher upside, I think, on the offensive side of the ball. And if Caleb Wilson is able to stay healthy, then maybe he could get to that level. It also depends on landing spots, I think. I think that A.J. has the playing ability to be able to make the Washington Wizards or the Utah Jazz or whoever it's going to be a much better team. But Caleb Wilson, you're looking top 5 right now, presumably for him. I think he does have that capability. But again, I think with A.J. Debonsa and the multi-level scoring that he has, the multi-level scoring that he has is much better than Caleb Wilson's. Caleb Wilson, again, is a better defender. I agree with that. And I think it depends on what you mean by upside. Right? If you're looking at holistically, maybe just because he's a better defender. And he's probably going to go to a place with more support around him than A.J. Debonsa. But I think A.J. Debonsa is a better scorer than Caleb Wilson.
Debonsa definitely was a volume guy last year. Still shot 51%, like you said, but, I mean, the ball was in his hands nearly every possession except when Rob Wright decided it was Rob Wright time. 33% from 3. My only concern with Wilson, and I think it's not that big of a concern because, I mean, I saw this dude in person. He shot 26% from 3.
Yeah.
Higher field goal percentage than Debonsa as he shot 58% from the field. But I kind of liked his jumper, I'm not going to lie. Even though the percentages aren't great from 3, I'm trying to think of who a comp would be. Maybe he'll end up being more like an Asar Thompson to where he's more of a defensive type guy. He did average Wilson 1.4 blocks and 1.5 steals per game. I mean, that's going to play. So if you're talking ceiling from holistic player like you talked about, then yeah, you're going to get more from Wilson. Now, I think he probably feels that he's a better offensive player than Asar Thompson, but similar build, that's the comp I would go to. I don't have any problems with his jumper from everything that I saw when I watched him. Of course, again, the percentages weren't great, but small sample size. Debonsa is just going to be one of those guys who's really good. Maybe Debonsa is more of like an Andrew Wiggins type to where he's more of an offensive type player, but, you know, naturally he's able to create some havoc defensively as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm sold on Debonsa being a year in, year out all-star.
So that's
honestly.
the thing. Like,
I think he's going to be a consistent, like Andrew Wiggins, consistent scorer, a guy who's in the league for a long time.
Well, when you look at both of them, Caleb Wilson showed up in the biggest games where A.J. Debonsa, I feel like, didn't. A.J. Debonsa would show up against lesser opponents every single time. But when you're playing in the NBA, you're not going to have that. You know what I mean? Caleb Wilson consistently showed up in the biggest moments. So I think that there is a case to be said that, yeah, maybe he does have a higher upside. This is a fun one that I want your thoughts on. Trey Myers says, am I crazy to think that Leroy Blyden will lead KU in scoring and make an all Big 12 team?
Yes.
I think that's crazy.
Yes.
I think that's crazy.
Stokes will lead the team in scoring.
So that's the thing.
I think the only way Blyden leads KU in scoring is if Stokes isn't out there, which hopefully he's out there. I just think Stokes will – I mean, dude's going to shoot
Yeah.
15 to 18 shots a game, you would think.
ball's
But
gonna run
I don't think it's
through-
crazy to think Blyden could be the number 2 scorer for
No,
Kansas,
that's not crazy. That's absolutely not crazy.
even if he comes off the bench.
I don't know. For me, I think you want more scoring disparity between front court and back court. So in a perfect world, this is the way that it would break down for me. You have Tyron Stokes, your number 1 scorer, and then you have either Paul Mbia or Keanu Dawes or somebody in the front court as your number 2 guy.
Wow.
Because you want the disparity of it, right? You want, is disparity the right word?
Doesn't sound right.
You want it to be spread out, right? You don't want Kansas to live and die by the 3 and live and die by the guard play. Guard play is what gets you into deep runs, but again, you want your front court to be playing well. I don't think that's going to be the case. So if Leroy Blyden is our second guy, then sure, I think that's going to be great. I think he's, defensively, he's not quite there yet. I think that was kind of proven whenever he was at Toledo. And also, you have to remember you have Dennis Parker Jr., right? So they're going to be splitting playing time because I think Dennis Parker Jr. is going to be playing a much larger role than I think we've maybe given him credit for. And I think Dennis Parker Jr. is maybe a little bit better of a scorer than Leroy Blyden. So I do think that's a crazy one. If that happens, I'm happy. If he is the leading scorer and Tyron Stokes is also Tyron Stokes, but Leroy Blyden just out of nowhere scores 20 points a game, that's fine. I'll take it. But I think it's crazy to say that. Here's an interesting one. Trey Myers says, am I crazy to think that Freddy's is mid? Just having small fries did not make up for everything else. I've said this.
You know what? Let me chime in first.
No, you go first.
Yep.
Because we're going to vehemently disagree with
You know
each
what?
other.
I will chat. I will chat.
Go for it.
I'll take the microphone for a little bit here.
Okay.
Freddy's is not mid. Freddy's burgers are fantastic. The Freddy's sauce is awesome. I agree about the fries. The shoestring fries are too small. There are better fries in better places. You know who has really good fries? Actually, Jefferson's. The crinkle cut fries.
I'm not
They're
a
very
crinkle
good,
guy.
nice and salty. I don't know. It's weird.
Never been a crinkle guy.
Neither have I, but they're really good over there down the road.
They're better than regular crinkle cut fries.
The shoestring fries are okay, but you have to eat like eight of them at once. The Freddy's sauce is delicious. The burgers are delicious. My only complaint is sometimes I struggle with steak burgers in terms of I'm still hungry after.
Yeah.
So that can go for things like Winstead's. It could go for Steak and Shake, whatever it is.
Shout out to Winstead's.
But very, very good burgers, Freddy's. I am sometimes still hungry, even when I get the triple, because the fries aren't as filling as I want them to be. But, and you know where I'm going here, the most mid or below mid fast food place I've ever had is In-N-Out.
Yeah,
That place sucks.
okay,
That
sucks
place
is
so unbelievably
sucks is a strong
overrated.
word. Yeah,
Their sauce is like sweet. I like the idea of the grilled onions on the burger, and I did the animal style. I did the animal style fries.
Yeah.
It's incredibly overrated. Give me Culver's, give me Wendy's, give me Runza, by the way. Shout out to Runza over in your neck
my
of the
neck
woods.
of the woods. It's
Very
literally
good.
like a block away from my house.
There's a lot of better fast food places, and I never in my life need to eat an In-N-Out again.
Do you think that Culver's and Whataburger and Runza and all these places are better than Freddy's?
This feels like a top 10. I would
Okay.
say that. Are we talking strictly burgers?
Overall,
Overall, I would take Freddy's over. I would maybe take Freddy's over Culver's.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Culver's is
I would
so
maybe
good.
take Freddy's over, but I like Wendy's is just so solid, man. Fresh, never frozen. You want a good fast food burger? Go to Wendy's.
Yeah, sure. I'm a Baconator fan through and through.
No, Dave's double.
I agree with Trey. I think Freddy's has a cult following, is what it feels like. It feels like the In-N-Out of the Midwest, where everyone is like, "Oh, Freddy's is the best in the world. Oh my gosh, look at you get a smash burger, and oh, the fries are so good." The fries are not good.
At Freddy's?
Well, they're good. They're fine. They're tasty, but it's hard for me to eat. I got big fat sausage fingers, and
The Freddy sauce though is fire.
it's fine, yeah. But like, it's either I'm getting one fry and it's not going to be enough, or I'm getting a handful of fries and they all fall out, and I try to dip them in the sauce and my fingers get all saucy, and I try to shove them all in
That's
my mouth,
operator error.
and it's just
That's
not.
operator
Maybe
error.
it is. Maybe I'm still figuring out. Maybe I'm still learning, right? But I'll be damned before I eat fries with a fork, and that's the only way you can.
Well,
probably
yeah,
do that.
you're not a barbarian. I get that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Okay, another one here. This says Darren Peterson was the third best KU player ever, talent-wise. Troy Myers says, "Am I crazy for thinking that? Am I crazy? Third best player ever,
Third, talent-wise.
talent-wise. Wilt Chamberlain,
Well, yeah, Chamberlain and Manning.
Danny Manning, Paul Pierce. Was he better than Andrew Wiggins?
From a talent standpoint, I just still don't know. I
Okay.
didn't see him enough.
I know that's the thing.
I didn't,
It's
and he
unfortunate.
just
Was he better than
when
Frank?
he was out there, he was pressing to score. You never got to see him be a distributor. You never really got to see him be a defender,
Yeah.
honestly. So I just don't know.
Was he
because
better than Frank?
Didn't see him enough. That's apples and oranges. That's completely apples and
Frank
oranges.
Mason was the hardest worker of all time. I
It's
think.
he's
that make
5'11", 4-year guy who got better as his year went on. I mean, better than Frank. How? Frank his last year averaged 25 and 5.
I know, and he shot over 40% from the three-point line.
It's awesome.
Darren Peterson did not do that.
Okay, raw talent. Who are you taking?
Raw talent, I'm taking Darren.
Right.
Raw talent.
Is that not the question?
Okay, but I think he's fourth. I think it's not
So
crazy
you,
to say.
you do think he's top 5?
I think he's top 5. I think you go Wilt Chamberlain, Danny
I'm
Manning.
sorry, I was tired of
Paul
looking at
Pierce.
his. I love the kid, great kid. I was tired of looking at his line score at the end, and he had 17 points, 1 rebound, and no assists.
Paul Pierce is better.
Yes.
So I
agree.
think so. I do think that's crazy to say that he's
Yeah, I
third
agree.
best.
If
But
I'm getting into it, then yes.
in terms of top 5, he's probably I would say he's there.
But you better not tell any KU fan that. Seriously, because KU fan, holding guys like Devontae still close to their heart, they're not going to want to hear that Peterson
Yeah.
is above.
I mean, what about Nick Timberlake?
I mean, how about Merv Lindsay,
Merv Lindsay. Yeah, it's a great one. Honorio Adams. I mean, there's
Justin Wesley?
right. Connor Tehan.
I mean, Nick Baugh.
You don't know anything about this. I have a bone to pick with you about this. You're not a movie guy. Trey Myers also said The Dark Knight is a bad Batman movie. Fighting is bad. Poor voice. Rob Pattinson.
I've
is
actually seen
way
this.
better. You've seen The Dark Knight?
I have seen The Dark Knight, and I'm a big. This is all I'm going to say, and then I'll let you get after it. I'm a big Christian Bale fan. Shout out to The Prestige. You ever see that?
I cannot. I know that's one of
That's a
those.
great.
I love that movie.
That is a great flick.
Great movie.
I'm not a big Robert Pattinson fan, only because he looks. He's just a squirrely looking guy.
Sure.
I think.
I think that's fair. I think he was a really good Batman, though.
I don't know.
I don't think he
I
was-
don't even know what movie he was in.
Christian Bale is one of the best.
Look at these.
Christian Bale is I'll say it, he's the best Batman. I mean, you got Adam West, Michael Keaton. Who else? Who else am I missing? George Clooney. That's right. Christian Bale's the best Batman by far and away. And that's not crazy. Dark Knight is one of the top 5 movies of all time, and that's not even like me saying that. It's like IMDb top 200 movies. It is like number 4, and he's saying it's a bad Batman movie. That's not even. That's unbelievable. That is actually unbelievable that you're saying this. You think that the Robert Pattinson one is better? No. I don't want to hear that.
essence
That
of
captures
Batman
the essence
better.
of Batman better. No, you don't even see how he got. Like, you watch Batman Begins, and then you see how it all came to fruition, right? You don't even get to see that in the Robert Pattinson Batman. It's just like the opening shot's like him on a motorcycle. Like, it's stupid. No. You're wrong about this. Do you want to do the
I want to do the
Chiefs?
bottom one. I kind of like the bottom one.
Okay, what's the
Let's
bottom
close it out with this one. Braden Burries is the best player outside of the top 4 in the draft. So let's
Okay.
look at this. A lot of different mock drafts, but we've got Devonta, Peterson, Boozer, and Wilson. I think pretty much it's understood those are the top 4 guys.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the line is. Then you've got your Aments of the world, Wagler, Acuff, Michael Brown Jr., who Louisville fans hate, by the way. I think I've mentioned
Yeah.
that before. Kingston Flemings, Braden Burries. Man, you know what? If he's not the best player after those top 4, if he's not 5th, I would put him 6th.
Sure.
Like I think maybe he is. The only guy that I would put ahead of him potentially would be Acuff.
Yeah.
I saw Michael Brown in person. It was an exhibition game at the Yum Center. I didn't watch a ton of Louisville games outside of that, but I wasn't overly impressed with him. So I think he's a little bit of a Markelle Fultz. I can get a little Markelle Fultz out of him. We'll have to see. But
In a good way or a bad way?
Wagler is a really good shooter. He's going to have a great NBA career. But in terms of like guys, dudes, Acuff and Burries are who I would go with. And I might just put Burries ahead of him. I mean,
I feel like Burries
he
didn't get
played-
enough national attention.
I totally agree. And he played like an old school senior played.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the dude never got phased, and all this stuff about how Arizona never shot threes and how they beat you with twos, and all that was true because guys like Bradley and Burries could get to the cup. Burries was an elite defender as well. Again, he's maybe like the I can't believe this dude's a freshman type. You know, I mean, obviously DeBonsa and Peterson are built a little different, literally built a little different. Like they look like they're NBA guys right now, but Burries very much was playing like a college senior as a freshman, never phased. And I said that thing about three ballers because he could shoot also. They just didn't shoot very often. He was a good shooter. And yeah, I think he's going to be fantastic. I'm trying to think of who a comp would be. Maybe Steph Castle. Do we like that for Braden Burries? He could be a Steph Castle.
Steph Castle's a little bit
type
taller,
player.
I think. It's
Yeah.
not, I mean, that's not a terrible comp. Steph Castle had a lot of bad turnovers.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about Steph Castle the last two games.
No,
I'm
I
talking
get it.
about
Yeah,
the
I
first
know.
2 years of his NBA career.
I don't hate that comp. Stephon Castle.
Castle 6'6". What was Burries? 6'5"?
Burries is 6'4".
6'4"? Okay.
Josh Hart with more offense. That's actually not terrible. He's a hard worker, good defender, does the dirty work.
Let's see what he...
I think Braden Burries has a lot higher upside on the offensive side too.
A steal and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably should have gotten Big 12 Player of the Year, honestly. Although,
I think
after
everyone-
Jaden Bradley
yeah.
got it, then he hit that game winner against Iowa State at Big 12
That was
tournament.
so fun.
That's pretty sick.
I'm actually really mad I didn't get to watch that live. I was there
I was in the tunnel. Yes,
I know. I was not in the tunnel.
Don't say you didn't get to watch it. You chose to watch in the media room.
They yell at me whenever I was on the floor. They would yell at me if I would walk on the floor, and they're like,
watched
you
it
have
from
a
the
red
tunnel, man.
credential.
I
You
watched it
can't
from the
be out
tunnel.
here." I didn't want to go all the way up, and so I was like, all right, screw it. I'm going to go to the media room, and I'm going to eat my snacks.
Hey.
And I was eating my snacks, and I was watching it with everybody else.
Rest assured, it was electric.
I'm sure it
in
was.
person.
I'm sure it was in person. And I watched it in the media room 50 yards away from where it happened. I didn't get to watch
Do you
it in
want to give your take on Burries or?
I think Darius Acuff's better.
Yeah.
I think that he's. So you got top. What does it say? Top 4. I think Braden Burries is 6th. I think Darius Acuff is 5.
Okay.
Braden Burries is a solid 6,
That sounds
right underneath
very,
Darius. I think Darius Acuff is a better player, but
Very, very
that's
similar
not
to
like
what I
you're.
said.
Yeah, it's not.
I could
crazy.
understand how a team would take Wagler 5th though, just because of his ability to
Yeah. No, I
shoot
get
the
that.
basketball. Shout out to Trey Myers and helping us out here for this Am I Crazy segment.
So let's determine, is Trey Myers crazy?
We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell.
We'll see. We just met
Time
him
will
today.
tell. After this, a special fantasy draft as Rock Chalk Sports rolls on. ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com. Welcome back. Rock Chalk Sports rolls on. Crown Automotive, our founding partners here at Kansas Nation. Give them a visit over on South Iowa in Lawrence. Miles Schneier and his team will get you in the vehicle that you need. Or if you're not local, crownautomotive.com, a great place to go. You can schedule Volkswagen service. You can schedule Toyota service. You can browse their selection as well at crownautomotive.com. And special shout out, of course, to Zenith Winery, the Schneier family winery over in Oregon. Very, very good wine. So appreciate that. All right, we've got a couple cool. I don't know how I feel about this, honestly, but we're gonna
What do
do
you
it.
mean you don't know
We're
how
gonna
you
do a
feel
fantasy
about it?
draft that's soccer related. We got to do something soccer related.
Yes.
Then we're gonna break down next segment the running backs for Jayhawk football in 2026, as we make sure we get some more sports talk, some more local sports talk in, and then on tomorrow's show we are not going to have Shreya Slada. We're gonna have Samuel Winton from Jayhawk Slant.
One
He's gonna
half of the
come
law
on.
firm.
One half of the law firm will come in, and again, we'll talk a little World Cup tomorrow, but won't be able to break down the USA game like we did earlier in our opening segment due to having to record early. Very, very busy day in Kansas City, as you can imagine, so got to get audio over to ESPN Kansas City. But we'll have more position group breakdowns. I figure we go wideouts tomorrow, of course.
That would make sense.
And then we'll have all sorts of other coverage for you as well. Dan, you got the MIAA flipping coin.
I do have the MIAA flipping coin. This is from September 5th, 2019. It was the only game I ever got meaningful playing time in against Northeastern State. I played in 3 snaps. 2 of them were victory formation. We're going to go 11 players. Let's do 2 at the front.
Oh, God.
5 in the middle, 3 in the back, goalkeeper. To keep it simple.
How many in the back end?
2 front, 5 back, 3 middle. Or no, sorry. 2 front, 5 middle, 3 back. Keeper.
Okay.
2, 5, 3, 1.
All right, and we gotta draft 11 guys. 11 guys. Okay.
So
No,
we're
I
gonna
feel
go-
very good. Soccer players.
All right.
Yes.
I'm going to flip the MIAA flipping coin. The MIAA is heads. The football player with all the teams is tails. Sean, I will let you call it in the air.
Okay. Heads. Oh my God.
No. It's tails. Let's go.
That's 3 in a row for you.
That is 3 in a row for me. Maybe the coin isn't conspiring against me after all. Okay, so I have the 1-1 overall pick.
And this is current NFL players, yes?
This is current NFL players. So, yeah, you can't be like, ooh, Night Train Lane.
I
or
feel
whatever.
very, very good about
Okay,
this.
fine.
All right, but
I'm
you
glad
get 1-1 overall. This is gonna kill our rundown
So
here. This is so many selections.
That's fine.
We usually
We'll be
do
fine.
6.
Okay, for my number 1 overall pick, and there's a reason that I'm picking this is because he kicked an extra point for the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe he kicked a couple of extra points for the Kansas City Chiefs. Also did some kickoffs as well. I'm going with safety Justin Reed as one of my front guys.
Okay.
Justin Reed. Because of the fact that he does have a good foot, really fast guy. I understand he is a defender, but I want
you
him
got him
as
where?
I want him at my front
Okay.
as
I mean-
a striker.
Okay. Okay. So you have 2 front, 5 middle, 3 back. These are not the official positions of soccer.
They are not the official positions. I can give you the official positions. of
Yeah,
soccer.
I mean, we got forwards. We got
You have 2 center forwards. You have 2 side midfielders, 2 center midfielders, 1 defensive midfielder, and then 3 center backs and a keeper. But I'm just going to go with front.
how about forward?
Forward.
2 forwards, 5 midfielders,
Yes.
and 3.
Backs.
If you can't tell, we
forward
don't usually watch
forward
soccer.
midfielder back.
forward, midfielders, and back.
Okay.
Back
yes.
end.
And I want him, yes, back end. I want him at my forward. Should I change him to maybe a.
How is he not in the back
in
end?
my mid? Yeah, no, that's the thing.
I mean,
Because
he's
he
a
is a
safety.
defender. He's a safety. He's
Yeah.
good at. But he's got a good enough leg. I think I want him as my
Striker.
Striker.
All right. You got
As
it.
my forward.
All right. NFL players to play soccer. I know where I'm going.
Okay.
I mean, unquestionably, give me Brandon Aubrey.
Okay. Where do you want?
Brandon
That's a
Aubrey
good.
played
Sure.
NCAA soccer over at Notre Dame. You might be
Right.
familiar. Have you heard of it?
I have heard
South
of
Bend,
Notre Dame.
Indiana.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Brandon Aubrey. He was actually selected in the first round of the 2017 MLS Super Draft by Toronto Football Club before transitioning to American football in the USFL.
Okay.
Shout out to Al Overview. Yes, Brandon Aubrey will be my first selection.
Where are you putting him?
That is a great question.
What did he play at Notre Dame?
I will,
Have you heard of it?
I will put him at defender, unquestionably. Yes.
Defender. What, like in the middle or in the back?
Back end.
Back.
Yep. Give me Brandon Aubrey.
Okay. Back. You have Brandon Aubrey.
Back end. Got it.
Back
Where are you
end.
typing these? Because I never know. Because you never type
I
them.
have my
Okay.
own.
See, I type right here so that we have it in the
I know.
rundown. But
That's
I'm good
good.
with that. Whatever. All right. Then I get
Well,
another
well,
selection.
Two different ones.
And I know where I'm going.
Sure.
But I got to figure out positionally where to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I want Gay. Give me Matt Gay.
Matt Gay.
Matt
okay.
Gay, yes. He is going to be a striker
he-
for me, forward.
He's still in the league?
Yeah, he's a kicker for the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right.
So give me Matt Gay. And yes, I know that's 2 kickers for me, but you know,
You want him at forward?
It is what it is.
2 kickers.
He played forward over at Utah Valley.
Forward at Utah Valley. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have
didn't
2.
know this? I knew that. I was thinking about that as I drove in today. I was like, you know what? I hope I can talk about at some point during the show how Matt Gay was a forward for Utah Valley back in 2016.
You always try to fit that in somewhere.
I know. It's great.
You're really good at it.
It's great.
Okay, so you have 2 kickers. That's interesting and maybe something that I didn't really think about, but I like it. 2 former soccer players, sure.
Yes.
At a high level, I get that. That's fine. But we're going NFL players here. Those guys are technically NFL players. For my other forward position, I have 2 back-to-back here. I'm going with Tyreek Hill. Fast guy, reminds me of Leo Messi.
Yeah. I mean, the Messis and the Hills of the world are one and the same.
Short. But again, he's gonna blow past those defenders.
So he's going to be forward?
Yeah, I would love to see.
You
love
have him at striker as well.
I have him as striker as well. I would love to see Brandon Aubrey try to defend Tyreek Hill with the soccer ball.
I can show you some tape from how he defended people during his time at Notre Dame. Ever heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Tyreek Hill at forward. Okay. He's got the speed.
And then for my back position, I'm going to go with a really solid defender, a guy who I think is going to be kind of a difference maker in that back end. Give me Jalen Ramsey.
Okay. That's fine.
He's not going to be striking the ball, but he's going to get in people's faces and try to steal those ones away. I like Jalen Ramsey at my back position.
In the back end? Okay.
Back end. On my back end. Yes.
All right, that's fine. So, okay. I get back-to-back picks here. I've got Brandon Aubrey in the back end, and I've got Matt Gay at forward.
Sure.
You know where I'm going to go here with my next selection? Give me Younghoe Koo.
Another kicker. Okay.
Younghoe Koo. He, if I'm not mistaken, grew up in South Korea.
Yes.
And won a regional kicking competition before immigrating to the United States.
Okay.
His ability to effortlessly punt a soccer ball on the playground led to his discovery as a football kicker in middle school.
Okay.
Younghoe Koo, my selection.
Where do you want him?
And I feel as though
front, middle, back.
I need somebody in the middle, so we're going Younghoe Koo in the middle. I feel like he's a middle tier type kicker too.
Sure.
He's not the best, but he's not the worst.
Yeah.
So all right,
he'll be able to
here.
clear those balls out too, which would be nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you have
give
3
me the midfield.
You have 3 kickers. I mean, are you? Okay, I'm not.
So,
I guess I'm not going to ask you a question.
Who's got the better soccer team? All right, next up,
Gosh.
for me, when we're talking fielding a soccer team with NFL players, give me Jake Bates. Jake Bates.
Okay, yeah.
Played
so you're going
Lions kicker. Give me Jake Bates.
Okay.
I want him also in the midfield. I feel comfortable, in the middle of the pitch with the Koos and the Bateses of the world.
Sure.
Kind of setting things up for success, but. It reminds me of, and I think we've brought this up on the show before, how Bates played soccer at Central Arkansas back in 2017.
I can't imagine we've brought this up on the show before.
But he did. He's just a good soccer player, and obviously took his talents.
All right,
to
so
Motown.
you're picking all kickers so far.
I'm not committing to that.
You're not committing to that, but it's just the way that it's
just
shaken
the
up.
way. Yep.
Okay, that's just the way.
Tyreek Hill was off the board, so
sure. So you had to go with your next pick, which was Jake Bates.
Jake Bates.
I
yep.
understand that. Okay. All right. So you have all kickers, and I have 2 forwards, Justin Reed, Tyreek Hill, 2 former Chiefs, and then Jalen Ramsey as one of my backs. I need a middle defender who I think is going to create some havoc and be sort of that goon, if you will, that intimidator guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my middle defender. Give me Derrick Henry.
Middle defender, okay.
I want Derrick Henry back there.
So you want him in the back end?
No. I want him in the middle. Sorry.
Okay.
I want him in the middle.
Midfielder, okay.
Because he's got enough stamina to run around in the middle and be a nice defender and also clear those balls out whenever they get into the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he's got good size to him.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Not the quickest
Tall.
guy ever.
No, not the
but
quickest guy. That's why he's in the middle.
Space.
He's going to take up space. Nobody wants to pass the ball near Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's going to be that guy that you bring in, and nobody's going to want to get around him, like a goon in hockey. Mm-hmm. That's what Derrick Henry's going to be.
Okay.
I think, and I really like that pick for me.
Okay.
I think it's going to be
I'm
good.
fine with it. You get back to back.
Okay. Back to back here. Do I want to go? I think I'm going to go middle again. and I think I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson in the middle. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I already have my 2 strikers,
Yeah.
but I think he'll be a solid defender for me. Quick guy, nice footwork, and again,
He is good at running routes.
You're talking. You're in the middle. I mean, you're going to have to spend the majority of your time on you're going to be all over the place, right? Because those guys in the back end, they just kind of hang out in the back end,
Right.
But the middle guys, those middle defenders, Justin Jefferson's going to be able to come up and get maybe a shot on goal every once in a while. You know what I mean? And I really like that out of him. He's going to be playing on the side. I think he'll be good at those crosses too. So I like Justin Jefferson in the middle, but in the middle defender, but the side midfielders.
Side midfielders.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you have 2 back-to-back here. You have 4 kickers so far, but you said you're not married to the idea of picking all kickers. That's just the way that it's shaken
I'm not
out.
going to go all kickers. I just,
sure.
the Aubreys and Gays of the world were out there.
I
So
get it.
figured
If they're there,
gotta
pick them
attack.
up.
Yeah,
Sure.
Koo and Bates. So I feel pretty good about where I'm at. I'll make this selection, and then we can kind of recap before my second selection who has who. Okay. But I need another striker. I've got Matt Gay out there. Played forward at Utah Valley, but I need somebody who I'm confident with is going to find the back of the net. Give me Cameron Dicker.
Oh, my
Dicker
gosh.
the
Okay,
kicker,
so
the most accurate kicker in NFL history, 93.5%. Also,
So another kicker for you. Okay.
Also, this is a guy who grew up playing soccer in Hong Kong.
Is that true?
He was born in Hong Kong.
Cameron Dicker
played
was?
soccer. I believe he played soccer maybe in Shanghai as well. Yes, he was born in Hong Kong. It's in China,
Okay.
FYI. And then obviously went to Texas. NFL draft, he was undrafted. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Isn't that
actually.
insane?
That is kind of wild.
Yeah, but yeah, Dicker the kicker, which is funny. Texas, I guess, gets to pride themselves on the fact that they had Justin Tucker, who for a long time was the most accurate kicker
Right.
in NFL history. And now it's Dicker. Obviously, he's young, so he's barely qualifying in terms of number of kicks. But he's money, man.
I guess that's something that Texas can hang their hat on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But give me, I mean, that's a great selection, honestly. The most
Yeah,
accurate
I
kicker.
get-
I need
yeah,
somebody to
sure.
find the back of the net. All right, I've got Brandon Aubrey in the back end, Matt Gay at forward, Younghoe Koo at midfield, Jake Bates at midfield, and Cameron Dicker at forward.
Okay. All kickers, by the way. I have Justin Reed as my forward, Tyreek Hill as my other forward, Jalen Ramsey on the back end, Derrick Henry, and Justin Jefferson in my midfield. So you have all kickers, and I have 0 kickers.
Yes.
I
All
can
right.
see how this could be potentially evenly matched. Maybe.
I know where I'm going here. I've got the next selection.
I have a feeling I know where you're going here, too.
No, you don't. But after breaking it down of all the potential current NFL players, I've decided to go with Kaimi Fairbairn of the Houston Texans. Fairbairn, again, kind of another one of those mid-tier kickers who's very good with footwork. Give me him in the midfield because he's not somebody that I want to overly rely on.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes he'll screw the pooch. But
Right.
Kaimi Fairbairn, my next selection. And
Okay.
that's going to be, again, midfield, which puts me, I believe, at 3 midfielders, 1 back end, and 2 forwards. So I feel pretty good about that.
Okay. All right. That's fine, I guess. Okay. Kaimi Fairbairn.
He also grew up playing soccer.
Is that? Oh,
Did you
did
know
he?
that? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes,
did he?
he did.
Interesting.
He did.
Oh, that's crazy. I never would have assumed that.
Yeah, he did. How about that?
Okay. I need to do a little bit of research here.
Oh, my God. Research is overrated, dude. Just go with your heart. That's what I've been doing. What are you doing?
Tallest. I need to figure out the tallest guy as of right now. Who's
Yao Ming.
No.
The tallest guy as of right now. Do you want me to Google it?
No.
Who is the tallest
That's not.
guy?
No, it's not it. I want
Who
to.
is the tallest guy? Robert Wadlow. He was 8'11",
Yeah, I
dead
know who
now.
Robert-
He died in 1940.
Yeah.
The tallest living man is Sultan Kosin from Turkey, who is 8 feet 2.8 inches tall. How about that?
All right.
Oh
I'm
my God,
going
that guy's
with.
tall.
I'm going with my goalkeeper here.
Okay.
My keeper. He's a tall guy, good range, laterally quick. Maybe in the later end of his career, I'm going to go with Travis Kelce.
Really? Kelsey as the goalkeeper. Okay.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Keep the Chiefs vibes going, man.
I am going to keep the Chiefs vibes
Yeah.
going. I could have gone with like Tyler Higbee or somebody else, but I want Travis Kelce. I think that he's got that leadership on the back end, and
Okay.
I like
That's important.
I like him being the keeper. I think again he's laterally quick. He's a high IQ
He's
player.
not unbelievably quick laterally these days.
No,
but
I know. Like I said, but I need him for one. All I need him for is to be good for one match against all of your kickers. And I think Travis Kelce, like I said, he's got a good range for his hands, good hands, solid hands. So yeah,
all right.
good catch radius.
I'm fine. You got your goalie knocked off the list.
Yeah, I do.
You're up again.
Why do you?
You're up again.
Why do you hate that pick?
I don't. I honestly don't love it. He's respectfully aging.
All right, fine. Yeah,
Travis-
I understand, but I need
Travis
him for one
Swift.
game.
Travis Swift.
Yeah, good for him. For another one of my midfielders, I am going to go with. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go on the back end again. Give me another defensive back. Give me Derwin James.
Derwin James. Okay.
I think I like him in the back end of my soccer team, if you will, just because he reminds me a little bit of Jalen Ramsey, just in terms of being able to get in guys' faces and kind of create
How about
that
Kelsey
havoc.
and James? Two
he's a-
guys who have spent a lot of time.
He's a
going up
tough
against
player
each
too.
other,
Good
yeah.
slide tackler. He's going to get in there and create some havoc. I like Derwin James at my other back position. I have one more back, and then I have a lot of midfielders left to kind of round out my selections. But yeah,
Okay.
give me Derwin James at a back.
All right. Now I'm kind of up against it, so I'm going to open things up here. I'm going to open things up, and I'm going to focus on drafting positionally rather than drafting specific players. Because these
Sure.
guys in the past I've wanted, they've got soccer backgrounds. I really like them. Now I got to focus on positions, and I'm going to go to the back end, figure out who I need, and I think I'm going to go with... This is tough. Give me Brandon McManus
Oh my
on the
God.
back
Are
end.
you-
Brandon
Okay.
McManus, a guy who
Okay.
I feel like I can relatively depend on. I mean, he had that 2-year stretch where he was terrible, but he
did.
seems to be back now.
And this is on the back end, Brandon
Yeah,
McManus.
he seems to be back now, and
See
he
what the
provides that veteran
Broncos
leadership.
still?
Broncos, yeah.
Okay.
Provides the veteran leadership. Altitude has helped him,
Sure.
admittedly.
Yeah. Good,
but yeah,
good lung capacity. I get it.
I like that. That's important.
So
and
you're gonna
I'm
have
need-
Brandon
I'm gonna need
Aubrey
some,
and Brandon. You're gonna have the Brandons
I'm going to have the Brandons, and then I
trying
want
to defend against Justin Reed and Tyreek Hill.
I want a little bit more youth in the midfield,
Okay.
right? I want to make sure that we're not stuck with guys who are in their 30s. Give me somebody who can be a little bit of a spunk in the midfield. Give me Tyler Loop.
Yeah, another kicker. That makes
Tyler
sense.
Loop, I
Tyler.
like him in the midfield.
Who does
and
Tyler
this
Loop
is
play for right now?
Ravens, and this is going to set me up for
Ravens.
success for my final 3 picks.
And
So
this is
McManus
midfield.
in the back end, Loop in the back end,
Okay.
which puts me set back there. I still need a keeper and 2 midfielders, so I'm in a good spot.
Okay, fine. I still need one more back end guy, and then the rest of them are midfielders for me. Go ahead and give me a midfielder. Give me Odell Beckham Jr.
Is he an active player?
He's at OTAs right now for the Giants again.
Ah, yes.
So
Former Browns legend.
former Browns legend.
I'm surprised he didn't have a cup of coffee with the Chiefs. It just seems like the type of guy the Chiefs.
It did feel
would
he
get
was
at the end of
linked
his
to the
career.
Chiefs for like 5 straight years.
Shout out to Le'Veon Bell, Josh Gordon, and DeAndre
Oh,
Hopkins.
Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, that was I hated that. I have a DeAndre Hopkins Chiefs jersey actually.
Yes,
I'll probably
number
wear.
8.
I'm gonna wear it on the show one of these days.
You should.
Odell Beckham Jr. did grow up playing soccer though, so that I do like
Okay.
him there. Man, I mean, there's a good amount of guys that I really, really want to be in this midfield. I'm gonna go ahead and go with another midfielder. Give me Fred Warner.
Makes sense.
I mean,
linebacker.
Linebacker, I like him there. A good defender. Like I said, lateral quickness, good in coverage, and just another guy who's going to create some havoc. I mean, you got Derrick Henry and Fred Warner there in the middle.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. That ain't bad.
That's not bad.
All right, how many do I have? 1,
I
2,
need-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 2 more midfielders I need to pick.
I need somebody of similar athleticism
Sure.
because you've got Warner and you've got King Henry, right?
Yes.
midfield. And my midfield, I feel pretty good about the athleticism I have right now. I've got Koo, I've got Bates, and I've got Fairbairn.
Fairbairn and Loop.
But midfield, you want somebody who's going to keep things steady. Keep things steady. You know, you don't want to go above and beyond. Don't let anybody behind you, right?
Right.
Make sure that you are solid no matter what happens, all right? Because you got to be vital. You got to be a vital part. Again, if you can tell, we don't know a lot about soccer. You got to be a vital part of the midfield, so that you can, be maybe not the flashiest of players, but
so
somebody
you're gonna go
who
with
is
somebody who's
dependable,
similar athleticism.
Somebody who's dependable and he's got some athleticism. Give me Jason Myers.
Okay.
Jason Myers of the Seahawks. Again, he's a very
Super Bowl
accurate,
champion.
yes, very accurate
That's good.
kicker. You can depend on him. And then I need one more.
Similar athleticism to Derrick Henry.
One more midfielder.
That's interesting. You're not going to expand on that.
No.
Okay,
I
all
mean,
right,
but
for sure.
Similar type players. And then obviously for my next pick in the midfield, I went relatively safe with Myers. So I need somebody who maybe can provide some fireworks here. Switch it up a little bit in the midfield and set your strikers up for success. Give me Cam Little of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, all right.
This dude hit like a 70-something yard field goal,
Sure.
73-yard field goal or something. So give me Cam Little.
I mean, talk about
for the
clearance,
Jaguars.
right? I mean,
Absolutely.
he's sitting there past half field. He's throwing that thing all the way down to the goalkeeper.
Exactly.
I get it.
That's important.
Sure.
And
And-
that sets me up. Okay. Yeah.
Also, similar athleticism to Derrick Henry and Fred Warner.
Yes.
Sure, I like that matchup.
Okay,
No, that's
good.
fine.
No, it would be entertaining to watch.
That certainly.
So I feel pretty good about my team.
My goodness. Okay. I have two midfielders left to pick, I believe. No, I have one back and one midfielder left. So for my next back, I am going to go with another really solid defender, a guy who doesn't get a lot of things get behind him. Give me Antoine Winfield Jr.
Antoine Winfield Jr. Nice.
Yes.
Remember Antoine Randall L? How fun was he?
Antoine Randall L.
Like, that was the only reason you would play with the Washington football team in Madden back in the day.
No, he
could be a
played
quarterback.
basketball in college. You know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Winfield's going on your back end?
He's gone on my back end.
Makes sense.
So I got 3 DBs on my
Yep.
back end, which I really like that about that.
Yeah.
And then I need one more midfielder. Gosh, this is gonna be tough, man. Because of the fact, no, I got it. I got it now. No, I got it. Give me a guy who's just a born winner, natural winner, really fast, good footwork, and a Super Bowl champion. Give me Jackson Smith and Jigba in my midfield.
Okay. He's going to provide some fireworks.
He will. He certainly will.
You want him in the midfield?
Yes, but did you, by the way, hear? I think we talked about this in maybe on Sports Stock Market or something. That during his time at Ohio State, he was wearing size 12 shoes and kept on having these hamstring issues.
Huh.
And when he got to the Seahawks, they like actually measured his foot and they're like, "Hey, man, you're a 10 and a half."
Oh, my God.
And so he started wearing 10 and a halves and then like no more hamstring issues.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
Surprising. How tall is he? I feel like 10 and a half is small.
He's probably like 6 foot, 6'1",
Okay.
I think. Good footwork. But
Yeah.
if he's wearing 10 and a half shoes, now I don't feel,
That's fair.
now I feel more comfortable.
That's fair.
You
All
have
right.
one more here, and you have to have
I've got one more.
your goalkeeper,
Yep.
if you will. I would
Absolutely.
love to see who you go with as your goalkeeper.
Yes, exactly.
Here
Well,
on your team
here's-
full of.
I just happen to have only kickers. That's not, and there's a lot of good options still out there. I do need a goalkeeper though, and I feel very confident about this pick. And again, I know I've taken it's just kind of how the cards have been laid out.
Sure.
I've ended up with kickers, and that's what it is. But I absolutely have to take this guy, goalkeeper. Final pick, my final pick of the draft. Give me Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Fantastic hands. Rashid Shaheed, he had a 0% drop rate last
That's
year in
crazy.
terms of targeted
All right.
players in the NFL.
Fair enough.
Rashid Shaheed as my goalkeeper.
so you're not going with a kicker. You're not going with a
I
kicker
haven't
for
seen-
your.
I don't need a kicker, a
don't-
goalkeeper.
that's
give,
fair.
Give me. I don't want Andy
Rashid
Borregales
Shaheed.
back
How
there.
tall is-
Give me Rashid Shaheed again. He's got the lateral quickness. Yeah, I feel solid about that. So
Rashid Shaheed is 6 foot.
here's what I've got. I've got the law firm on my team as I've got Aubrey, Gay, Koo, Bates, Dicker, Fairbairn, McManus, Loop, Myers, Little, and Shahid.
That's insane.
The law firm.
Okay, fine. For my 2 forwards, I have Justin Reed and Tyreek Hill. For my 3 backs, I have Jalen Ramsey, Derwin James, and Antoine Winfield Jr. And all my midfield, Derrick Henry, Justin Jefferson, Odell Beckham Jr., and Fred Warner, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. And for my goalkeeper, I have Travis Kelce.
All right. I like my team, man. I got a lot of guys with soccer experience, and they would put it to you. Plus, I got Shahid taking care of things on the hands side of things. So that's our fantasy draft for today in honor of the World Cup. After this, going back to our Kansas football position group breakdown, talking running backs on this upcoming team. That's next. ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com. Going to continue our Kansas football positional group breakdown. Yesterday we did quarterbacks. That's going to be something that is spoken about a lot throughout this off season, but some quality talent in that room for KU, and certainly the same can be said for the running backs, who we're going to get into very shortly. First, got to tell you about our friends over at Custom Lawn and Landscape. If you're like me and you've got kids running through the grass, chasing after tennis balls like Dan's dogs, perhaps, maybe that's...
You ever play fetch with your daughters?
Sometimes I will hit off her little plastic tee, and then she wants to go get it, and it's awesome.
Sure.
And she'll just tee it up for me, and I'll just crush it. 15 yards to the back of the backyard. Nothing ruins time outside faster than fleas, ticks, and chiggers. That's why families trust Custom Lawn and Landscape to help keep their lawns beautiful and protected all season long. Our home insect control program helps defend your yard from those pesky bugs so your pets and loved ones can enjoy the outdoors more comfortably and safely. Right now, when you sign up for the season, your first application is free. That's right, your first application absolutely free. Simple way to take back your backyard this spring and summer. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your free first application with a seasonal insect control program. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs. Dan, running backs, Kansas football 2026.
Yeah, that's right. We are going to be continuing our Kansas football positional group breakdown. Is going to be starting off with the running backs. Which one do you want to start off with here? Because you have...
List them all out, and we can figure out who we're working with.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and list them all out. So as of right now, there are 7 running backs on the roster. You have Yasin Willis, who's a transfer over from Syracuse. Jalen Dupree, transferred over from Colorado State. Go Rams. Dylan Edwards, transferred over from Kansas State. Those are the transfers that you have coming in, and then you have 4 other guys who have started their careers here at the University of Kansas. Justin Thurman, who, again, I was really high on, at least after last year and after what we saw in the Wagner game. Yeah, it was Wagner. I get it. Also have Corey Mockery, who a lot of other people are really high on. I'm very high on him as well. John Kelly, who yet to be determined what he's going to be able to do. But again, everyone really certainly likes him. He, I believe, flipped his commitment from Notre Dame to Kansas. So that was a massive get. And then Micah Johnson, who near the end of the depth chart, but again, not really entirely sure what we're going to be seeing out of him. Realistically, you have 3 guys who are going to be kind of in the running for this running back room for Kansas, and you have Jalen Dupree, who kind of had a late start just because he wasn't able to go through anything during spring camp last year. So as of right now, you really have 2 guys in Yasin Willis and Dylan Edwards. You're going to imagine that Dylan Edwards is probably going to get the start over Yasin Willis, but they're very different styles of running backs. If you notice, I mean, you look at Dylan Edwards, you look at his height and weight, he's 5'9", 170 pounds. Yasin Willis, 6'1", 235 pounds. Insane to me that those 2 guys play the exact same position, but you can utilize them in very different ways. And we can start off with Yasin Willis. Yasin Willis, if you look at his stats, at Syracuse, played 2 years at Syracuse. His first year in 2024, 36 carries, 130 yards for 1 touchdown. Did have a 26-yard rush back in 2024. And then last year, he was kind of the bell cow there for Syracuse, had a lot of run there. 129 carries for 558 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4.3 yards per carry. He also had a 41-yard carry where he jumped over a guy, which is really exciting and fun to watch. But he's kind of that big bruising back, and you hate it when I say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's the 3-yard.
76 consecutive shows you've been able to say this.
3 yards and a cloud of dust. That's what you're going to get out of Yasin Willis. If it's 3rd and 1, you better line up with a couple of extra tight ends there, and you feed the ball to Yasin Willis, he's going to get you that first down.
So
That's the kind
you're
of running
saying
back
that
he
he
is.
doesn't have any spunk to him.
No, he does. He
I
absolutely
don't think
does.
he's like that. He's not a 31-year-old Kareem Hunt.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that that's what he's going to be utilized as. He has a little bit of spunk to him. He can bounce it on the outside if he wants to, but you're going to utilize him between the tackles more often than not, whereas opposed to Dylan Edwards, he has more of a versatile skill set, right? He can run it between the tackles if he wants to, but he's a little bit smaller. Outside of the tackles is really where he gets dangerous. He's really dangerous in the open field, can make guys miss a ton. And in the receiving area, I think Dylan Edwards has an incredibly high upside as well. But Yasin Willis, I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do for this Kansas squad. He's going to be wearing number 6, I believe, for the Jayhawks. First time that anybody's going to be wearing number 6 since Jalen Daniels.
Wow.
So that's going to be exciting to see.
Jalen Daniels. Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. I think that's
Wow.
that's interesting. But, yeah, I'm excited to see what Yasin Willis
Is
is
that
going to be
even
able to
accurate? Didn't we have it 6 on defense as well last year?
do on the offensive side of the ball. Come on. Come on.
Good clarification.
Come on.
Good clarification.
So, yeah, I think Yasin Willis, I think you're going to see him maybe in some early down sets just to try to, get a little momentum, get 3 yards in a cloud of dust, like I always say. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch between the tackles. I think he's that big bruising kind of guy. And then when you look at Dylan Edwards and what he was able to do in his 1 year at Colorado and in his 2, I guess technically kind of 1.5 years at Kansas State because he wound up getting injured last year for Kansas State, really productive, right? I mean, you look at Colorado as a true freshman, got 76 carries, 321 yards, and a touchdown. And you saw the blazing speed that he was able to do, especially as a freshman, be an impact guy for a Colorado team when Deion took over. I mean, it was really impressive what he was able to do. And then he transfers over to K-State. First year at K-State, sophomore year of college, he had 74 carries, 546 yards, 5 touchdowns, 7.4 yards per carry, which is really, really impressive. Had a 65-yarder also. So you're able to see some sparks and some flashes from him. Also, if you look at it in terms of the receiving aspect of it, in Colorado, his freshman year, he had 36 receptions, 299 yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns as a running back. That's really impressive to do. K-State, his first year at K-State, 19 receptions, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns. Then you look at 2025 for Kansas State, a little bit of a disappointing year for him. He only played in 4 games, only broke the 100 mark in one of those games against UCF. If you look at the other games against Iowa State, 0 carries, 0 yards. Arizona, he had 4 carries for 13 yards. Baylor, he had 10 carries for 26 yards and wound up getting injured in that Baylor game. But the UCF game really pokes out at me. I mean, he did wind up having a touchdown in that game. He also had a touchdown in the Baylor game as well. But I think what you can see out of Dylan Edwards is pure potential.
Especially with the Andy Kotelnicki effect.
Absolutely.
That's the big thing. And Dylan Edwards, we fully expect to be running back 1 for KU. I don't know. I guess I got to be careful saying this because last year we were really high on Harry Stewart and Johnny Thompson, but I do feel really good about the depth of this room. Before Kansas went to the portal, you knew you were getting Corey Amakri in as a true freshman, and you knew you had Justin Thurman back, who, a lot of people are high on that front. But I feel like you made it a really strong room, and it's not unfair to say that the top 3 running backs in this room of Edwards, Willis, and seemingly Dupree have higher ceilings than what we had last year. Now, we liked LeSean Williams. He had a nice year at Iowa before he came to Kansas, a nice career. You had Daniel Highshaw coming back, and you knew what he was capable of. He dealt with some injuries. He wasn't exactly able to fill the shoes of Devin Neal. That's a lot to ask, but those 2 did fine, particularly the last game that Kansas, by all accounts, should have won against Utah, and they should have been bowling, should the Jayhawks.
Yeah.
They did what they needed to. But this running back room, you have so much more versatility because you have that, I don't want this to sound like a stab, but you have the scat back type in Dylan Edwards, who also is going to be a pass catcher for KU and somebody that has breakaway speed. You haven't really had that. I mean, Devin Neal did a little bit of everything, and some of that was his speed, but his ability to find holes, his ability to break tackles and be such a good running back is what made him the best running back maybe in KU history, save a few legends. Edwards is going to have that ability to pop through the defense and be big. And again, you can throw different things at defenses. When you went to LeSean Williams from Daniel Highshaw, were you throwing anything different at the defenses?
Not really.
No, you weren't. You're doing that this year with what Kansas has, and you can bring Willis in, a more of a between the tackles guy. We hope Dupree is an impact guy as well, and Amakri, a guy who's a tall back, and he's seemingly going to be somebody who has a trajectory that goes up like that.
Yeah.
So we're excited on that front. But I like the versatility and the depth of this running back room. Again, expect Edwards to be out there for the first snap of the season, but Willis is going to be a real guy too. I think those two guys provide a lot and makes it tough for defenses.
Yeah, and I think when you look at it in terms of what we saw in the spring, you had Jalen Dupree, who was hurt, and Justin Thurman, who was hurt for the majority of the spring, right? You didn't see those guys whatsoever. So by default, you had Corey Amakari getting those third-team reps, and in spring, everybody kind of gets first and second. And they do like to rotate a lot, but I think the coaches really liked what they saw out of Corey Amakari this year. And you said he's a tall back, and he's kind of the best of both worlds between Yasin Willis and Dylan Edwards, where he's going to be really good between the tackles, but he's going to be really good outside of the tackles as well. He's raw right now. There's going to be he needs a little bit more development in terms of his run style and the way that he's able to carry the ball and breakaway speed and breaking tackles, those kinds of things. But I think Corey Amakari probably has the highest ceiling out of any of these young guys that you see farther down the depth chart. John Kelly, another guy who everyone is really, really high on, right? So you talk about the depth that you have in this running back room. It's better than any running back room I think that we've seen here at Kansas, including last year when we were high on everybody. I was high on Justin Thurman. I was high on Harry Stewart. I was high on Johnny Thompson, right? So you were high on all of those guys, and they never really got to see the field until kind of later, whenever either Kansas was up really high on somebody or down by a lot to some other guys. Corey Amakari has the ability to be an impact guy virtually right away, right? And I think that you're going to go with the 1A, 1B, different style of running backs with Yasin Willis and Dylan Edwards. But don't be shocked if you see maybe some, 21 personnel with two running backs in the backfield with Yasin Willis and Corey Amakari, and then all of a sudden you have Dylan Edwards out at the slot receiver position because he's so versatile at that. You could potentially, in theory, because Andy Kotelnicki likes to do weird stuff like this, you could see all three of these guys, or at least two of them, out there at the same time. And I think that's so important that you have this depth that you're able to utilize right now. And Corey Amakari, to me, has gotten that bump, especially from what you've been able to see throughout spring ball, is that he was able to jump over, and granted, injuries do play a factor. Jalen Dupree has proven himself at a high level, right? He had over 500 yards at Colorado State. He was the bell cow. He had over 100 carries at Colorado State, but we didn't see him this spring, right? Same with Justin Thurman. You liked everything that you saw from Justin Thurman last year. He had a 50-some-odd yard rush that got called back, and then he wound up having a 33-yard rush the next play, I'm pretty sure on the exact same play call against Wagner, and his burst of speed is unbelievable. He's got a really good body to him too in Justin Thurman. But Corey Amakari, from what we've seen in the spring, I believe has jumped those guys to be that solidified number 3 guy.
When I look at KU football offensively, 2023 was the last year Coach K was here running the offense. 2024, 2025, Kansas took a step back, unquestionably.
Yeah.
Jim Zebrowski is still on staff, coaching the quarterbacks, passing game coordinator, I think is his current title. And 2024, you had Jeff Grimes. Kansas was still okay offensively. They weren't at their best when the best was required, and same could be said about the defense, and that's what happens. I mean, you end up 5-7 both of those years.
Yeah.
You need to improve on that, and there need to be some changes. But if you look back at 2023 KU football when they went 9-4 and won the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Devin Neal's junior year, Dan, he had 1,300 yards. He averaged 6.3 yards per carry and 16 touchdowns. Plus, he had 25 catches.
That ain't bad.
You also had Highshaw get 121 carries and have 8 additional touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a lot of production. So a lot is to be made of Jalen Daniels' mistakes, and Jalen Daniels is certainly to blame for some of the shortcomings of Kansas football last year. But he also didn't get much help, as was the case, for Jason Bean back in 2023. 2024, Jalen Daniels had Devin Neal back there, but, the rust, and we can make excuses. I get it. It didn't go well for JD. But when you had a healthy pair of tailbacks, talented guys, and Neal and Highshaw producing 24 touchdowns on the ground. Oh, not to mention McDuffie had 4 and Bean had 3. Savion Morrison had 1. That's a lot of production on the ground. We talk so much about quarterbacks. That's going to be a best friend type deal for quarterbacks is if your running backs are going to be able to bring that sort of production, then maybe you don't have as much pressure on those QBs.
And I don't mean this to be a stab at anybody, but as of right now, you have less talented, less versatile quarterback play than you did with Jalen Daniels, because Jalen Daniels was so good through the air and so good on his legs, right? You have confidence that Isaiah Marshall is going to be really good on his legs. You have confidence that Cole Ballard is going to be really good through the air, right? But I think when you combine both of those guys, you get essentially what Jalen Daniels should have been for the majority of his career. And from what we saw, flashes from half of the year before and half of last year that you saw out of Jalen Daniels. So I think that the running game is going to be such a key factor, and you're going to see a lot of these guys get a lot of play, and it's going to be very similar in terms of, you know, the being spread out between Edwards and Willis and Dupree, hopefully, and Amakari, and you might see Thurman a little bit this year. You're going to see all these guys get some play.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. We'll talk wide receivers, of course, some newcomers in that room as well on tomorrow's show. More coming up here on Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com. Closing things down here on Rock Chalk Sports. Going to have a fun show for you tomorrow. I want to tell you about Custom Lawn and Landscape, though. You given them a call yet about your lawn? I know you've been busy on your honeymoon, but it could use some work.
I haven't been able to call them yet, and you know it's been bothersome because in my backyard there's all these fleas, ticks, and chiggers that I always find on me no matter what. But here's the thing: if you call Custom Lawn and Landscape right now, guess what? Their home and insect control program, it helps defend your yard from those pesky bugs so your pets and loved ones and me, if I like rolling around in my backyard, can enjoy the outdoors more comfortably and safely. And right now, if you call them and you sign up for the season, your first application is 100% free. That's right. I said it. 100% free for your first application. Simple way to take back your backyard this spring and summer. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your first free application with a seasonal insect control program. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs.
Hey, tomorrow we're going to have the return of Sports Stock
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, you didn't do it last week.
Didn't do it last week. We had a special edition Shreyas Latta NBA draft segment.
That's good.
No Latta tomorrow. He is otherwise engaged, so tapping in for him will be Sam
engaged?
Winton.
Congratulations.
Sam Winton from Jayhawk Slant, one half of the law firm. He will be here in studio. Have not had him on in a while, but he does great work.
Yeah.
Great coverage of KU baseball.
By the way, I can say this now. I totally forgot to mention this because my dad watches, but we told him yesterday I will actually be going to the Algeria-Austria game on June 27th with my father. So
that is awesome.
Viva l'Algérie. I'm going to be sitting in like section 3010 or something. I don't know. 3010.
Sounds like you're there to get content.
Yes, I will be there to get content.
Yeah.
I talked to them about that. So yeah, I'll be working. How'd
you score tickets, man? That's
I
cool.
had to buy them for Father's Day.
Oh.
So
how much were they? Were they bad?
Pretty. This was the cheapest game, but Algeria is playing, so I'm going to be excited. I'm actually going to. Can I steal that scarf and wear it?
Oh, no.
Okay, fine.
No, I'm going to want to wear that on the show.
Fine.
But thank you for asking. Appreciate that.
It's on Saturday.
Still, it's bad luck.
You still want it?
It's
okay.
bad luck. Yeah.
Fine.
No, don't.
The last time you wore it, they lost.
Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my
That's
stuff.
not even yours. It's Elijah. Elijah got that one.
That's true. Elijah did pick that up over at Rock Chalk Park. Appreciate
Shout
that. But we are going to have Sam Winton on the show tomorrow, and we'll break down KU wide receivers, law firm of McMillan and Cox, the newcomers.
Pickett.
Well, yeah, Pickett.
Cox and McMillan.
McMillan, Cox, and Pickett. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to say thanks to everybody who's watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and on KansasNation.com. ESPN Kansas City as well. Again, we're pre-recording the show tomorrow because it's going to be such a busy day in Kansas City. So we won't be able to tomorrow to break down Team USA's match, but make sure that you're tuning in before you watch us on Rock Chalk Sports, 2 o'clock, Team USA and Australia. And then we'll be back on the air from 4 to 6 tomorrow to close out your week and get your weekend started. For Elijah Schmidt and Trey Myers behind the camera and Dan Courtwright, Sean Kellerman saying we'll catch you tomorrow from 4 to 6, ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com.